And welcome back to Subculture After Dark. Well, we know that you guys out there love From Ashes to New, and of course their brand new album is fast approaching very, very quickly right now. We're going to be playing the brand new single Armageddon in just a moment on the show, but before then, we're actually going to chat to Danny from the band about this amazing new album called Blackout. So welcome to the program, Danny.
Hey, how's it going?
I am going really, really well. Mate, this album is just absolutely fantastic. As each single has come out, we've got a little bit of a piece of the jigsaw puzzle and putting it together. I've had a chance to listen to the whole thing now, and this is an amazing album, so congratulations.
Thank you so much. Yeah, man, we're really proud of it, and we feel like it's got a variety of sounds. It's really heavy, really catchy. Yeah, I think it's our best record yet.
Now, this is a concept album, so tell us a little bit about the concept behind it and where that idea first came from.
Yeah, so it's kind of a loose concept. So we didn't stay too strictly to it, but the idea was before we went into the studio, we kind of sat back and we were like, what put this band on the map? And we looked at the band's first album, Day One, and the level of intensity that the songs had, the heaviness to it. We looked at that and we were like, we enjoy writing heavy music. Let's go heavier for this record because we feel like we enjoy it, our fans enjoy it. Let's go heavier. We started working on it in early 2021, and so with everything that had just transpired, with it seeming like the end of the world was happening every single day, we had very dark, apocalyptic type lyrics, and we had actually been working on Armageddon, and it gave us the idea to go, hey, Day One showed a kid sitting on a new planet, starting over and looking up in the sky at the old planet that was falling apart. Why don't we make this kind of like the prequel where the kid is still on that old planet reaching for the new planet? Since we're writing all these lyrics about the Armageddon, about the apocalypse and all that stuff, it was the album actually initially was going to be called Armageddon before we changed it to Blackout.
Yep.
And so that's where the loose concept kind of came from. It was just like all the lyrics we've been writing over the pandemic and the heavier style. We were like, this seems like a good fit. It seems like it makes sense. Let's just go with our guts on it.
Yeah. Now, I lived in what was one of the most lockdown cities in the world during the pandemic, so it was a pretty tough time. How was that time for you? How did your world change, and what were the lockdowns and stuff like where you were?
Oh yeah, it was not fun. Every single day it just felt like it wasn't going to end, and all of us felt like we really didn't have a sense of purpose. Not being able to play music, and tour and see fans and all that stuff. It was a very frustrating time because it also felt like it was kind of like the blind leading the blind. Like the people who were in charge didn't know what the hell they were doing.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how we felt about it. So to feel like we were being constantly taken down the wrong path throughout the whole thing and having our lives taken away throughout the process of it. Like, it was really frustrating to watch. We had a lot of lyrics that I think came out of that frustration. And we were so thankful to get out of it when that time was done.
Yeah. It sounds like you were still writing during that time. Some people found that their creativity completely dried up during that time. Did you find yourself still in a creative mood?
Well, so in the beginning of the lockdowns, we kind of turned towards, everyone's at home, everybody is on their screens, nobody's able to go out and do things. Let's put out music, because we had our Panic record that we were sitting on.
Yep.
Like, let's just put it out. Like, it's not the right move, quote unquote, to do politically, because like you're supposed to save your record and then tour on it and all that stuff, and like get the radio interviews and go and really promote the record. And we were like, let's just put it out to give people something to listen to.
Yep.
So we had that. We had just finished recording that record, and then we were also doing some covers. You know, we would post covers on our YouTube and have the fans engage and request other songs, and I think that was a helpful way for us to stay creative and to engage with the fans and then give them something to look forward to while everybody was shut down. So we didn't get to spend a whole lot of time focusing on writing because we had just finished that record. We were doing this other cover stuff on our YouTube, and then pretty much as soon as real small gatherings kind of got back together, we went out and started writing for the next record. And that was like early-ish, like maybe March, May, in that area of 2021. So, and then we went and started recording the record in the summer.
Yeah.
So we never really even had the chance to see if our creative outlet would dry up. We were doing other stuff. So I hope for most bands that it was productive for them. For us, we had just finished recording an album and had just put it out, and then as soon as everything was kind of subsiding, we went back out and started writing again.
Yeah. The lyrics on this album, like you said, it reflects that time so well. Did those lyrics come from how you guys were feeling, or did you even incorporate some of the feelings in there of fans that reached out to you during that time as well?
Yeah, I mean, it was all... They were all like lyrics from our own experiences and our own thoughts and our own feelings, and I think that is relatable for so many people because almost all of us were going through it, so it was the four of us writing and our producer, and I think we had maybe one other person like help on the record, and I think just due to the fact that it was a situation that affected everyone, the things that we were feeling and putting from pen to paper, I think was really relatable for a lot of people.
And when you're sitting down working on the album, how much do you think about that little boy planet ending? Like, do you try to put yourself in his position and imagine how he's feeling, or do you just write from the heart yourself?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I don't think we ever spent much time visualizing that aspect of it. We were pretty deep into the process when we kind of came up with that idea. So we were pretty far along on the record already. And again, it was a loose concept, so it wasn't anything that we were sticking too strictly to. But, there was definitely a couple songs and then like handfuls of lyrics here and there that kind of pertain to it. But, if it was something that we went into going, this is the game plan, this is the idea, I think that's absolutely something we would have done.
Yep. Knowing that you wanted this to be a heavier album as well, how did that change the songwriting process? Like, did you have a lot of times when you put something down on paper and then when you play it back, you think, nah, that's not heavy enough? Like, what's that process like when you go into an album knowing that you want it to be heavier?
Yeah, so, there would be some times that, like, we come to a point in a song where it's like, well, where do we want to go next? And there's so many different places that you can go. And, having the idea of wanting to go heavier, we'd pick the routes that kind of leaned into that more, as long as it still kind of felt right and made sense for the music. There was one song, actually, Until We Break. That song didn't have a bridge, and we were like, well, what do we want to do here? And we were like, let's just come up with the craziest, most ignorant, heavy thing that we can possibly think of. And we did it, and it was funny making it because of just how obnoxiously heavy it was, but it was so cool in the end. So that was an example of like, hey, we're trying to go heavier. Let's just go as stupid heavy as we can on this part. Yeah. And it turned out really cool.
You also brought in Matty Mullins to work on that track as well. Where did that idea come from, and what was he like to work with?
Yeah, so we were putting together a tour with those guys. And so we're like, hey, we're looking to do a feature. Like, you want to hop on this song? And kind of like, we'll pair the two together. We're like, we're going to have this tour coming out, and then we'll have the song where, you're going to be featured on it. It'll be a cool kind of way to cross paths both in playing shows and then in our music as well. And I think that the fans liked it a lot. He's a super cool dude. Memphis Mayfire is a band that I really like a lot. So that was fun to have him on. And I think he complimented the song well.
What was the recording process like with this album? Like, were you guys all able to get into the studio by that time with the lockdowns and everything? And what was that like, being able to get back together as a band and work together?
Yeah, so it was summer of 2021, so we were able to get back together. A lot of the infections were way down because of the fact that due to warmer weather, people are a lot more spread out. And I guess I don't know the exact science on it, but people aren't as in closed quarters together when it's cold, and so like I think the infections were like way down. We were able to get together, and everyone was able to work on the record all in the same room, and that was really awesome. So it was almost like things felt really normal while we were recording the record, which was really cool.
How do you feel now with the album about to come out? I mean, we're getting such great feedback from these singles that have been coming out, but how do you feel now? Are you nervous or are you excited about the album coming out?
Yeah, I'm excited. You know, we recorded almost the entire record in the summer of 2021, and by the end of the year, it was completely done. So we have been very patient waiting for this one to come out. So I'm excited for everyone to hear it.
I think your fans have been loving the way that the singles have been coming out as well, and the concept has been able to give us some great video clips, including the latest video clip for Armageddon. What's it been like working on those clips with that concept behind them?
Yeah, it's been really cool, you know, because it kind of, I feel like the videos almost kind of build themselves, you know, with the song and the lyrics that are in it. You know, we really want like a dark, heavy vibe to the videos, and we can kind of just build it out visually based on the story of the song and the lyrics in it and all that stuff. So that part of it was like super easy to conceptualize, and then seeing the video once it was all shot was like, yeah, this looks super dope. Can't wait to put it out. And I think the fans really liked it a lot too.
Definitely. Now, talking about your fans, what have you guys got planned for the rest of the year now? Like, the album's coming out in just a little while, so what's the plans after that? And is there a chance that we might see you in Australia at some time soon as well?
Yeah, so right now we're out on tour with Motionless in White and In This Moment, and we're gonna drop this album on the 28th of July, and then we're hoping for like a fall, early winter, end of the year kind of tour that we're hoping to put together in the U.S. Then we have Shiprocked, which is a rock festival cruise that we're doing early next year, and then we're looking to do some international shows. So hopefully Australia can be on that list. We aren't really sure yet, but you know, anytime we get to travel outside the U.S. and play shows, we always, you know, want to hop on that opportunity. Awesome. No plans yet, but we're hoping to get there soon.
Awesome. Well, Danny, we're going to play Armageddon on our show right now. So what would you like to say to all of the listeners out there, not only before they listen to this amazing track, but before they go out and grab Blackout on July 28th as well?
Yeah, thank you all for your support. The fans are what drives this band and what makes this band successful. You know, we don't get to do this without all of our loyal fan base. And so go out and pre-save it, pre-download it, stream the songs, and first week numbers are everything. So we want to see this thing pop off, and that happens first with the fans. So thank you all for your support.